3 conversations with a mid-sized company go well, then a fourth person joins from HR, then a procurement manager shows up with a vendor questionnaire. And suddenly you're not sure who you're actually selling to. That confusion has a structure. Inside any company buying coaching, there are 3 distinct buyers with different criteria, different power, and different language. Naming them changes how you run the deal. Here's a scene that stops coaches mid-deal. You've had 3 conversations with someone at a mid-sized company who wants to bring you in to coach their VP of operations. First conversation went great. Second conversation, someone else joins from HR. Third conversation, a procurement manager shows up with a vendor questionnaire. And now you're not sure who you're actually selling to. If that has happened to you, or if you're trying to avoid it, here's what's going on. Before we name the 3 buyers, the scale question. 65 to 70% of Fortune 500 companies use external executive coaching. That's from HCI's Building a Coaching Culture research, synthesized in Tandem's Coaching Industry Statistics Hub. Corporate buyers, HR, talent development, learning and development, account for the majority of executive coaching spend. Individual self-funded engagements are the smaller share. B2B isn't a side channel. It's the dominant channel for executive coaching. The fog in that 3-buyer scenario isn't about whether B2B coaching is real. The market already believes. The fog is about who inside the company is the actual decision maker. There are 3 distinct buyers inside most corporate coaching engagements, and they care about completely different things. HR and learning and development care about the coaching process, your credential pedigree, and how you'll operate inside their program. The business sponsor, the person whose problem the coachee is solving, cares about performance outcomes. Procurement cares about contract terms, vendor risk, and price. 3 people. 3 completely different conversations. Conflating them costs you the deal. The access pattern matters. Sponsor-initiated engagements are the fastest path. The Chief People Officer reaches out because their new VP of Engineering is struggling with executive presence. Clear problem, clear budget authority, clear coaching. The conversation is about results, timeline, and fit. If you handle it well, the engagement starts in 6 weeks. HR-initiated programs are formal and slower. You've submitted credentials, 2 references, a methodology statement, and you're in a pool of 8 coaches being evaluated against a rubric. Both are real. The second is more process-intensive and requires a paper trail that the first doesn't. Procurement initiated. Never. Procurement validates. It does not initiate. Here's where coaches get tripped up. A sponsor loves you. Then procurement sends a 47-question vendor questionnaire, your entity type, insurance certificates, data privacy policy, whether you have an MSA on file. Most coaches read this as danger. It isn't. It means you've cleared the sponsor hurdle. You're in the qualification stage, a different stage with different questions. Module 6.2 covers all of the paperwork. The point right now, procurement's questionnaire is good news. It's not a signal that the deal is in trouble. It's a signal that you've made it past the first gate. The qualification question before any B2B meeting. Which of these 3 buyers is in the room? If HR and L&D is in the room, the conversation is about your process, credentials, and how you'll operate inside their program structure. If the business sponsor is in the room, the conversation is about outcomes, timeline, and fit. Don't lead with your credentials, lead with their problem. If procurement is in the room, the conversation is about vendor qualification, your entity, your insurance, your terms. Know which one you're in before you start optimizing for the wrong one. Here's the practice exercise. Pull up the B2B Buyer Map in your paired resource. For each of your 5 target companies, identify 3 things. Who is the likely HR and L&D owner of coaching at that company? Who would be the most likely business sponsor given your niche hypothesis, and whether this company uses a formal vendor qualification process? The goal is to know the buyer structure before your first conversation, not halfway through the third one. A single B2B call where you've misread the buyer costs you ground that takes months to recover. Once you know the three buyers, the next question is, what are you actually selling into? Because the corporate coaching market isn't one thing. There are internal coaching programs, associate model partnerships, and direct sponsor engagements. Each one has different economics and a different sales motion. In the next video, we look at the internal coaching program and where external coaches actually fit inside that structure.